Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And today, Mr. Magazine, for the first time ever, we went back to back. 2 straight weeks with Black Velvet.
Back to back Blackjack.
There you go. That's what he wanted.
You know what I'm saying.
And before we get started saying greeting everyone, I just wanted to tell everybody for this wonderful thing up here. Let me turn my head the right way. For the kerfuffle that Mr. Magazine and I had last week before the show. It's benign. So there you go. Couldn't stop looking. It's benign. So I just got the report today from the lab. So
good for you.
I'll be with you for a long time. Exactly. Why don't you just greet people? Come on.
All right, I will.
Do your job.
First out, Marvelous Michael, Cool Carl, Triple J's in the house, Awesome Antiquarian, and Ferocious Feral Girl Vintage.
And one thing I want. Oh.
What?
A lot of people just came in.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually got to stop looking at your face and look at this. Dicey Days in the house, Jazzy Jeff, Simple Simplicities in the house. Wow. Ferocious Flying's in the house as well. Super early.
Stop right there.
I will stop right there.
I wanted to shout out to Flying Disc Contractor. He came to my Whatnot yesterday. He now has 10,000 followers on Whatnot.
Wow, that's
10,000
awesome.
Whatnot followers.
Yeah.
Followers.
Yeah.
Follow Flying Disc if you haven't already. If you like Hot Wheels, he's your man.
Do you make any money at 10,000? I don't know how it works. I know.
No, but it looks.
It is super cool.
It's a very, very crazy number.
Your online resume.
Exactly.
Lucky Lee's in the house. Nice Nova. Joyous Joy's in the house. Delightful Dawn. And what did she just say?
Yay!
What did she just say?
Oh, hell!
Popular Purple's in the house. And I think we're ready to rock and roll to hear your voice yet another Wednesday at this time. Get it out of the way. How many weeks left? Just say it now.
46 weeks, 2 days, but who's counting?
Exactly.
So how are sales, Mr. Magazine? I hesitate to ask.
I'll tell you how well they are.
Now go ahead.
They're so well that my online website of my adult website, for the month of April, I made more money on the website than I did on eBay. And I sold a lot less items.
I wonder who told you years ago that you had to get on a website. It was kind of a genius you dealt with.
I think it was me. Yeah. I think I told myself that. Yeah, I looked in the mirror. Yeah.
Revisionist history if I've ever heard it.
I got a bad memory, so I don't really know what's going on.
Not flowers, exactly.
Cool Carl. Hey, and number 1. Awesome Art of Flipping. How's it going? Flowers.
Yes.
That's the word of the night. Word of the night. Yep, everyone's got your number.
They all know.
Underwhelming, but not putrid. Yeah, I would agree with that. My Amazon's holding its own. eBay's holding its own. It's nothing you can do right now. You just got to deal with it. Take it on the chin.
And I was going to say that eBay was putrid. Up 34.9%.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Wow. Yeah. eBay was putrid this weekend. It absolutely was. Sunday and Monday were.
There were some days that were. I felt it was like 1999 or something like that. And I wasn't going to party like it was either.
I thought it was like 1972 before the internet was invented. Yeah, it was really, really bad over the weekend. It's picked up since then, and it's middling. Is that a good word? Middling now. Sure. Amazon's a little bit slow as well right now. It is what it is on that. Part of the reason why, though, my sales are so low is because I've only got 27 items listed right now at auction, which means I've not been listing much new stuff.
Yeah.
And that really does make a big difference, I think. I think there's always seems to be a little bit of a lag, but only having 27 items up, I'm just not getting new products up there.
Yeah.
I've been so busy in a day job, 46 weeks, 2 days, but who's counting, that I haven't been able to put up any very much stuff. So, unfortunately.
All right. Marvelous Merity's in the house. Morning Gents back. Awesome Amazon seller as well.
Oh, trust me, I feel every time I see his car pull up, I think exactly the same thing.
I want to make a U-turn. Dandy Dave down about 25 to 30. All right, it's close to norm, really, if you compare. I think I'm down about 25.
Is about the way we all are, yeah. Who don't have the best intentions for the platform. I just don't think they know what they're doing, to be quite honest with you.
And they don't care.
I think simplicity, I think that I said it a couple of months ago. I think they really hurt themselves because I know they've really cut back. I cut back on my purchases since I got rid of eBay Bucks. I just, not that I spent a lot of money, but there were a couple of sets that I was working on. Hogan's Heroes was one of the non-sports card sets I was working on. I've not added a card to that set since I got rid of eBay Bucks, because every time they did the 3%, 5% eBay Bucks special, I said, I'll buy a card. Now, it's not a big deal. They're $10 to $15 a card.
Yeah.
But I bought one, and so every quarter I ended up buying 2-3 cards for the set. I haven't bought one for 2 years.
I wish I had that patience, honestly, because I was working on that Spider-Man run with 5s or better, and I bought them all to get them out of the way, and I'm selling the lower grade ones. But still, it cost me a little chunk, but now it's over and done with. Now I can save money. I guess.
See, and I guess I look at it that whether I complete the set or I don't complete the set doesn't really matter. It's neat to work on it.
Yeah.
But I don't particularly care. And that was kind of one of those, I'll just do it when I get that. And it's like, well, if you're not gonna sit there and give me eBay Bucks, I won't buy. And that probably is
a lot of people doing that. Yeah. I buy less because of that.
I'll give you a perfect example. I went to the supermarket the other day, and I always buy Keurig K-Cups on eBay. And they had a sale at the store, and I looked at the prices, and I said, this is pretty much the same price I'd pay on eBay. I'll just buy it here. I'm here.
Yeah, right.
I'll buy it. Whereas in the past, I would have bought that on eBay. Now, it's no big deal between all the coffee, probably $40. But still, it's $40 I did not spend on eBay that I would have if they had the eBay Bucks. So I really think they're hurting themselves by not doing that, because if it's a couple $100 a quarter that I'm not spending,
across the board, it could be millions of dollars.
It definitely could be, on that. 52%. Wow. That's how bad last month. That's one way to look at it, Carl. Conspiracy theory of the week.
Super Singing is in the house. How's it going?
That which is adequately explained by ignorance. There you go. I'll tell you something or other that has stuck with me since college. My auditing professor. And these are some words of wisdom, Mr. Magazine. Okay. So listen closely. He said, nothing can ever be made foolproof because fools are so ingenious. And if you stop and you think about that, absolutely true. And it kind of ties back into all that too. They just don't know what the heck they're doing half the time.
All right. We got Dandy Dennis. Oh, I'm
jealous. There you go.
I wish I could watch from
We should do a treadmill show one day.
Give me a month of getting ready for it.
Warehouse. Nice. Nice.
That's awesome.
You had a good earnings report where their net sales were down. Wonder who's covering the difference, right? Yeah, exactly. 40% of my business. Whoa.
Wow, that is pretty impressive.
I got to try that again at some point. I'm on there, but I haven't listed anything on it in years. Bed Bath & Beyond was ruined by former Target executive. They hired to run it. Sounds similar to eBay. Yeah.
I thought they went downhill after Adam Sandler made that movie, Remote.
I remember The Simpsons actually had a gun show on there called Bloodbath & Beyond. Made me laugh.
Oh, nice.
Made me laugh. Comic book seller firm was saying prices and sales are down a lot, shift in the market. Yeah, Carl, and I actually, a little later on, I'll tell you about a comic book that I bought, and market is definitely changing a little bit over there.
Yeah.
My sales are,
wow, that's huge.
Sorry. Multiple issues of bad eBay sellers.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't sell you anything. Oh, wait. Happy to be a fool. There you go, Jeff. You and me both.
Lucky Lewis is in the house. How's it going?
The eBay pushing luxury handbooks, sneakers, blah, 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 is going to get them through this economy. No, I think it's one of the dumbest ideas that they could have ever had, to be quite honest with you.
I thought pushing Zion Williamson cards was going to do it. No?
No, but no, I absolutely... That's just not a good idea. And I think it's going to end up biting them as far as that goes, because again, those are the people, they're just not going to spend the money on that kind of stuff necessarily. And especially with the greatest stuff, if the market starts going down, that's less money they're making as well over there. Kind of crazy on that. 7-8 long box eBay because they weren't even being seen.
Wow.
Move them to hip or just hold them for now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
How about buys? Have you bought anything, Mr. Magazine?
So this week was a busy week. I had the Pennsylvania haul come in. I picked up a 500 piece Funko collection locally. That was great. A bunch of signed stuff and exclusive. So happy there.
Now, what do you mean by signed stuff on Funkos?
They get signed by the character that played the person.
Like
so,
actually signed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And were they available that way in the store? Or they're like chase
no,
pieces?
I think it's chase pieces you get like at conventions and stuff, or you get them you sign them at shows and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, but that was a pretty cool collection there. I received the Pennsylvania.
Can I ask a question without prying?
Okay.
Why did he sell?
So what he claims is he sold me a bunch of other stuff. He had a 60-piece Fast and the Furious diecast collection, some comics, a little bit of everything, but he did it in stages. But he says the IRS said he owed money and they took a couple thousand out of his bank account.
Okay.
So he needed to replace.
All right, needed to replace. All right, just because
he didn't file right or something was wrong with that, or he didn't, pay into it, whatever.
So hardship. Okay. Yeah. The reason I was asking is because obviously if you go into conventions to get stuff signed and all that stuff, that isn't the kind of thing you tend to wholesale out.
Yeah, I think he's buying stuff on eBay and online and stuff like that. That stuff.
And it's too new a stuff to be like, oh, it's just stuff I collected 20 years ago. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just wondering.
But I did receive the Pennsylvania haul from one of our buddies there, and it was a multiple payment process. He had the Target deal supposedly in Ohio, and we shared 2.5 truckloads. And I can admit I'm a little disappointed when I received it. It didn't look like visually I could tell I've bought enough deals that, if I'm paying $12,000, it's supposed to look like 30. It didn't look like 30. And it was a lot of duplicates. So I was not happy about it. I thought about it that night, took him out to dinner. And in the morning I said, I'll tell you what, buy these back at a loss. He said he would have, and I was going to lose thousands of dollars because I'd rather have the money for better deals. But he was already left to go back to Pennsylvania. I said, well, I'll tell you what, Aaron's driving across country in a few places for me. He can drive them off next week. And he said, you know what, I'll just give them to you in the next deal, or I'll make good on it in a future deal, which was cool. He's an upstanding guy, and I'm not going to screw him. He's not going to screw me. He wants to make sure I'm happy for future deals. So we'll work it out. But again, I said, hey, don't trust this guy in Ohio. Definitely wasn't a good deal. He's either lying about the value or giving you so many duplicates that it would take us months or years to get the money back when, in 2 weeks he wants another deal with these toys. I go, you can't do that. You got to give me stuff I can sell. It's either going to be all different or hot trending stuff, not old cases of Funkos, all the same type. So,
right.
We worked it out. And then tomorrow I got a big model collection. It's probably almost a full 16-foot truck worth of models from the 70s and 80s, all sealed, some die cast, a couple thousand comics. So looking forward to that. That's a good deal. More stuff next week, but in the meantime, I'm pretty much close to getting broke, so I got to be real selective on what I'm buying. Between payroll being up, sales being down, and the buying I'm buying at, I got to be a little tighter, unless it's a no-brainer.
Right.
I'm borrowing a little bit of money just to get me through. Everything will be good, but just right now everything's hitting me at once. So as much money as it's coming in, it's not enough.
Right.
So
new eBay bucks is a bad call. Yep, making eBay seller funds available to spend is nice. See, and Lee, I've tried to sign up for it, and every single time I've tried to sign up for it, I get an error that I'm not recognized. That something's not recognizing itself through, so I still can't do that. Only buying shipping storage supplies as I work through my backlog. Nice. I wasn't listening for a few weeks. Yeah, but still. Being able to send offer was best change. Yes, I absolutely agree with that, Carl. There's no doubt at all that's a change. Speaking of which, I'm glad you asked me that, Carl. Offers report, 49 old offers, 139 total offers. The last couple of weeks have been 158, 157, 158. So 19 fewer offers than last week, which
about 10% down.
Yeah, off 3 a day, basically. So definitely the traffic has not been there this past week. Now, again, part of it is I'm not driving the traffic myself by having new listings. That's tending to hurt a little bit there. 27 out of 45 promoted. So we are up to about 60% paying promoted fees on that. Then heading on over, did sell 3 items on Etsy. So that's picking back up. 1 on Vivs-Views and 1 on $1,000,000 So that's going on over there.
Awesome. Old man's in the house, and he's got something important to say.
Oh, don't forget to punch the thumbs up. There you go. As to buy, since you were asking, I went to I got a call. A buddy of mine went on a buy a couple of weeks ago, and he gave me the lead. And things just got so crazy at the day job, 46 weeks, 2 days, that I did not reach out to him. And finally, they called me at 3 o'clock on Friday. and said, look, we've got the stuff. Are you interested? And I said, yeah, I am. It's a local museum that has a bunch of stuff that was donated to it, books that were donated to it. She said, we have 60 boxes of books, and it's $10 to $20 a box, and you can fill your own box. You know, you fill a box while you're there. I said, yeah, I got to do it. So we went out there Saturday. Mrs. Papergoy and I went for a drive and went out there. I ended up with 6 boxes of books for $60. A lot of good stuff for Whatnot. So you're going to be seeing a lot of nice books going on Whatnot. So happy with the deal. Going to make some money off of it. No problem at all. If anybody out there is looking for an inventory and is in the Rochester-ish area, it's certainly not worth you driving in from Kentucky or anything. But if you are about an hour to an hour and a half away from Rochester or closer, reach out to me at hello@papergoy.com and I'll give you the lead. She said I most certainly can get other people in on this because they're looking to move the stuff. About 60 boxes of books, a lot of art books from probably the 60s on, and a lot of things that a museum would have with things like, I don't know, just old time books. I mean, they're newer books, but the old time style books, just to let you know. A lot of stuff from the 60s, 70s, and early 80s. So reach out to me if you are looking to buy books. I can give you the lead on this one over here. If you're an hour to 2 away from Rochester, it's definitely worth your time. If you're further away, it's not. Just to let you know. Slowly going up. We're listing a new category of items. Okay. Yep, that's good. And definitely do, if you are going to Allentown Paper Show this Saturday, Papergoy will be there. Come on up and say hi to me when you see me walking through the aisles. Reaching out, talking to a few different subscribers that are going to be there too. So it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully I find some good buys. Like to do a nice haul video. What'd you think of the haul video I put up Monday, Mr. Magazine? I
heard it was awesome, like amazing.
I heard the same thing. Yeah. Maybe you should watch it at some point. Just an idea. Yeah, do check it out though. We're going to try to bring you Monday haul videos, bonus haul videos throughout the year as the deals warrant.
I did watch a U-Haul video because I need a box truck for next week, and they actually show you the 360 rotating view of the U-Haul truck.
Yeah, that's almost what I did. Couple of other things. All right, we'll head on into glitch of the week.
Hold on, before that, Marvelous Michelle's in house. How's it going?
There you go. Glitch of the week. We got a few glitches this week, and the glitches all seem to be a common theme this week, which could explain the lower sales. Items are not showing up, and we've got a couple of different examples of this. Mr. Magazine had a pocket cars lot that he put up specially for a buyer, which you're allowed to do that. The person said, hey, can we work out a deal? Mr. Magazine worked out a deal with a price for 44 pocket cars, put them all together in one listing. And then he reached out to the person to tell them it was up and everything like that. And they'd been contacting and talking about it. Mr. Magazine didn't hear from the person for a day, so he reached back out to the person. And when he tried to reach out to the person, your recent message to so-and-so wasn't sent because the item has been removed. And we looked and it had not been removed. It was still up for sale. It was still right there. Everything was still good, but you couldn't send messages on it because in the eBay system, it was removed, even though you could see it. Then we had a situation with Mr. Magazine. I was going to, somebody or other wanted to know some magazine, how many of them he had. So I went and I brought up all of his listings. And then I searched on it. Now, this isn't a problem with that, but it's a problem you couldn't search in the store. So I had all of his listings up. I did a search. Now, normally when you just have one seller's listings up and you do a search, you only see the items that seller has up. It was showing the listings of all the sellers. Then I had to go back. I did it a second time. Same thing happened. I did it a third time. And the third time was a charm. And it just showed Mr. Magazine's listings for that particular item.
Persistent.
Well, there you go. Hey, I'm paid by the hour. What do I care? And then I sold a Chess Life magazine and I wasn't able to find it. And because I ended up putting it in the wrong box. So I was doing some detective work trying to find it. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't find this. I wonder if other Chess Lives. So I was doing a search by date listed. And these were listed like October 10th, 2022. And I looked at everything I had listed October 10th, 2022, and there were no Chess Life magazines. And so that's kind of odd. I must have just grabbed one and listed and filled in the box.
Yeah.
Then I did a search on Chess Life in my store, and they showed up listed on that date. So they were not showing up when I did a search of all my listings, but if I searched on that specific title, they were showing up.
Which that whole new search thing is screwy anyways, because they got the eBay search and then your store search. And when you go to sold, it brings up the unsold, and you got to go back to unsold and brings up the sold. It's all backwards.
Yeah, and Simplicity, Don, Auction Professor, definitely did talk about that as well. And it definitely is happening. There is no doubt at all about it. Because again, if I searched on Chess Life, it showed up. If I searched on my listings for that day, they didn't show up. And it was crazy. That makes it hard when you put something in the wrong box, because you like to see everything you listed and had that day, because it would help you track it down a little bit better. eBay search showing international items at the top of search results. Oh wow, no, that one I've not seen. Yeah, because
I didn't sell anything international last week at all, so that can't be for me.
And then another issue, I went to somebody or other made me a best offer, and I had to load it. I had it loaded twice because I clicked on it once and it just wouldn't show up. So I had to go back, load it again. It showed up, and then I went to try to accept it, and it wouldn't allow it. It just wouldn't accept it. It said there is an issue processing your request. I'm like, I'm trying to accept an offer. I'm trying to make a sale.
Well, we were on the same page, Triple J, because that was going through my head. You know, you basically said what I was thinking. So
maybe eBay wants the extra fees of international shipping costs. Who knows? Search is really bad. Sometimes it changes spelling for. Right. Yep. And that was one, Carl, that I did a few weeks ago. I was trying to search on Peter Porker, which is a takeoff of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Will not let you search on it. It immediately defaults to Peter Parker, and it does not say, did you mean, and let you keep your original search. You just could not search on Peter Porker. Could not do it.
Well, now what did you search? Like Peter Porker? I don't even know her.
I've had the same problem when on a seller's page doing a search. Everything comes up, just not in that store. Going to the seller's store from a listing. Okay, that's good to know. Yep, and I did it a different way. Third time was a charm, and it showed up the right way that way.
Well, I got to scroll back. Jazzy JKB's in the house and has that same problem.
There you go. Definitely, yep. Bar, yep. Irrelevant. Need to search 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, and we're
crazy.
And we're all willing to do it because we're on there all day. Do you think somebody that stumbles across the site is? No. The casual.
No, they're leaving. Maybe that's why sales are down. Like I can't find what I want. And who thinks about 3, 4, 5 times and fixing it? So they're just getting the hell out of there.
Right. We do it because we're on there all day, every day, and we understand that it can be a glitchy site. Yep.
Yeah. Jazzy Jackie Jack's in the house. How's it going? That's a mouthful.
They push me hard to make foreign purchases. Final value is higher. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I did have another glitch over on million.dollar.peddlers on the item that I sold over there. I was trying to buy postage. It said that it wasn't valid the way I was trying to buy postage. I said, what the heck? And then I looked and it defaulted over to PayPal, which it's never been on PayPal before. So you definitely do have to watch that as well. I obviously like to pay out of the funds.
Yeah. And
it switched it over to PayPal. Thank goodness I wasn't logged into PayPal. Otherwise, I would have paid for the shipping and not even have noticed that way. 1 2-hour video showing how to search. You certainly could. That is very, very true. Site changes, only a couple this week. I don't know if you've noticed when you log into Amazon now, there's a little bluish border around your username and password when you type them in.
No, I predicted what my answer was going to be.
And also, if you do the one-time password, there's also a little blue border around it. So
when I'm looking at the videos, I'm going to look at that too.
There you go. You can take a look at that. Yeah. Awesome. And then Heritage defaulted their items on page and view. They changed the way those look, and now you can get back to the way that it had been, but you got to do a couple of clicks just to make that happen too. Yeah. So those are the changes. No, right. Exactly, Carl. And they're going to go somewhere else because again, we are all hardcore. We're all on there regularly. We'll do it. We understand it. Random neighborhood kid would just do one quick thing and go, I guess they don't have it. And he'd go to Amazon.
Right, exactly.
Or he'd find it potentially through Google, maybe.
Well, sadly, they're not going to Amazon and buying my stuff.
That is true. Peter Porker, the next Marvel movie. Gru the Wanderer would be next. There you go. I love Gru. We think you really want this item, not the item you want. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Speaking of items, don't we have an item of the week?
We do have an item.
Oh, yeah, Memphis Blazer. They definitely did change the packing slip as well, but they made it better. I read that on their page. When you go to buy shipping, it said it's an exciting new packing slip they have that's so much better than the old piece of crap that they had. They didn't quite say it that way, but that's what they had you think. Happened to me, pulled shipping funds from PayPal. Yep. Next time it came from funds, I didn't change anything. Oh, wow. So it's just going back and forth. Crazy.
Yeah.
So what's the item of the week? Thanks to Loco Mike for this idea.
That is great. Thank you, Mike. So anyways, I'm going through items that my lister could not find on Amazon and pulling them out and, trying to get eBay sales up, pull out a bunch of weird stuff for eBay and stuff. And I came across this, never seen it before. I took a picture, sent it to Paperboy and said, hey, what do you think this is worth? I thought it would be worth about $50. And crazy enough, he agreed. It's Frazetta, issue number 1. It's magazine size. It's pretty thin. Would this be considered a fanzine? Or
it looks to be one. Yeah.
So anyways, I did some researching after that, and it's pretty cool. It's got great artwork inside, obviously, Frazetta's art. Storyline as well. And there was a few on eBay. People were asking 100 to 150, and some have sold for about 65 to 75 bucks.
And it doesn't look like much. I mean, sitting here looking at it, it does not look like
there's
much.
Two number 1 versions. They must have been 2 different years, volume 1, and they're both in the same price range. But it doesn't look like much if you see it out there.
It's not glossy, nothing.
No. But grab it. This one's in great shape. I might even get it graded. There might be, who knows, might be a few $100 piece if it's in a 9.0 or better. So keep an eye out for that. Pretty cool. If you're a Frazetta fan, it will be up on eBay at some point unless I get it graded.
And fanzines are definitely something or other to keep an eye when you're out there as well. If you can pick them up cheap, because a lot of people, they do not look like much.
No, right. And some go for 30, 40, 50,
you can get a lot of money
or more.
For a couple of them. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it was, if I remember right, one of those fanzine kind of things had a Gene Simmons from Kiss actually did I don't know if he did a letter to the editor or something like that, because he was big into comics back in the late 60s, early 70s. So you get weird things like that sitting in some of those as well.
I think I got a Red Sonja one that someone had for $900. They sold it for. I got it up for $5. No one's bought it yet, but still I don't have anything into it. So.
I'm Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Good for you.
We saw my 12 years of experience. Noobs won't even bother. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely right, Simplicity. No doubt at all about that. We're going to run through these and we're going to get ahead of eBay and burying parts on their site. I have to use Google on both. I know art of flipping. There are times when I'm trying to find an item and it's really sad. Nothing comes up in Amazon search. And I actually have to find it through Google search. Yeah. And I think you've had an employee figure that out as well at times.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to head on into the insulting offer of the week. And we actually don't have that many this week.
I've been trying to counter with sales down. Obviously, anything insulting, I'm not even going to entertain it. But if things are like close by 20, 30%, I'm trying to get that extra money, get the extra sales. If it's stuff I don't care about or don't have much into. So that might be partly the reason.
Well, Sports Card Trader Magazine, $13.39. You got $1.25 offer on it.
I think it was a Jordan cover, too.
We're not quite that desperate. I had this is a great one. So I had a Blondie comic, wanted $24 free shipping.
Right.
Guy offers $13. I countered $18, and I said, that's the best I can do.
Yeah.
They counter at $16.
Oh, they think you could do better.
So then I countered at $20 and said, now this is the best that I can do.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
And then I waited a couple of minutes, and then I hammered them.
Good.
On that one over there.
Time.
I always love that. This is the best I can do. Oh, I'll offer you less. Well, now I just raised my best, didn't I?
Popular Puddings in the house. How's it going?
I had a Family Circus signed sketch by Bill Keane. Remember the comic strip?
Yeah.
I wanted $62 on it. I got a $10 offer free shipping for a one-of-a-kind signed piece, drawn signed piece. Not taking $10 on a one-of-a-kind piece.
That's like insulting to the artist. They right like that. Your time is worth from how many years ago is worth nothing.
But the winner this week was Mr. Magazine.
Thank you.
CGC Spider-Man number 31, qualified 4.5. Now, what does qualified mean, Mr. Magazine?
Oh, there's something wrong, usually internally in it, missing pages or torn page, something like that. So they grade it as it would be off the cover, and they put qualified because they'll tell you what's missing, what pages and so forth.
Well, they'll also put qualified on it, won't they? Like if there's color touches and that stuff.
Altering stuff like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, might be restored though. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So he had a Spider-Man 31 qualified 4.5. Now qualified, obviously.
Yeah, and they're usually worth about half, 40 to 60% of the non-qualified version.
$231 asking price, $20 offer.
I mean, it costs $40 to grade it. I mean, just crazy.
Oh, real quick, I wanted to also shout out local Mike. He did reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to ride over to Syracuse. I guess there was a sports card show over at Syracuse Fairgrounds this past weekend.
Cool.
I thanked him. I was spoken for this past weekend, but thank you very much, local Mike, on that. That Frank Frazetta sealed. Yep, it is Frank Frazetta. Yep.
Yeah, calendars. I mean, all his stuff's good, popular, worth good money too.
Yep. Frazetta is definitely a name to know out there. Yep. Firmly believe the algorithm shows you the listing eBay makes the most money on. International listings and probably a lot of the promoted as well. Global offer, buy offer $12 for a $50 postcard. One replied, rather drop it in a shredder than sell it. I declined instead. Yeah, that might be the that might be the right way to go. Couple of other quick things over here. A couple of customer issues. We hammered him for sure. So I do 2-day shipping. And I'm right on top of it. Very, very rarely. I mean, maybe if I'm out of town, maybe I'll be late, but very, very, very rarely. Person emailed me, why is it taking so long for you to deliver the item to the post office? Could you send me more urgently, please? I said, you bought it yesterday and I have 2 days shipping and it's already gone to the post office.
I get that all the time. Yeah. I tell them, because we do get 5 o'clock pickup, but the worst is when they contact you Saturday after 12 or Sunday when the post office is closed. Nothing's going to happen.
Well, then I had somebody, all right, I sold a book on Amazon. Chassis, okay, the title was Chassis, Brakes, Suspension.
Okay.
And then in parentheses after the title, Peterson Productions, 1964. Then down below, it said, great book from 1964 about blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then they listed the printing date on it. It said 1964. So 3 different spots on the listing.
Let me guess. I want to guess. They thought they were buying a real 1964 Mustang.
No. They returned it as, this book was published in 1964 and is completely outdated. Maybe the fact that in 3 different places it said it was published in 1964. And that's where you just got to smile and say, here's your money back when it arrives back. I know it was published in 1964. That's why I said it in the title. 75% off best offers gets you an automatic block in my eBay store. 50 to 74, you're on thin ice. Yeah, yep, definitely.
Yes, I did need. I took my buddy down there, and covered his expenses and stuff, and he was able to drop them off. And did we do a video? No, we didn't do a video on it, but I had some pictures. They wouldn't let us go inside. So basically, we met a security guard, armed security guard. He put everything on a table and boxed and brought it inside. So, and Zemurgi again coming through big.
Thank you. Do appreciate it. Oh, well, glad you asked. 46 weeks, 2 days. I have actually figured it out, of course, because I'm a numbers person. That actual days of work, days I have to punch in the clock in the morning and do work, I am at 187 days that I actually have to punch in and do work. But who's counting?
I was thinking of something with this Banhammer thing because we have not had time and we're not really talented to make these things. Maybe if there's someone out there that could make something, we would just tell me what the cost and stuff, and we'll cover it. Mail it to us, whatever. And then we got
July 4th episode. The thing up. I'm going to buy. You know how much I'm going to spend? $80 trying to knock over the QP dials till I finally one of those big plastic hammers.
It'll probably be one of those blow up ones you win at the.
Yeah, it is. It's got. But the funny thing, you'll have to record me trying to knock the things over.
Why don't we get white tape it white, and then write Ralphie Boy on it or something?
It'll be fun just watching me trying to knock the thing over. I stopped playing the best offer game. I priced very reasonably with slight wiggle room. Send offers in case. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, but if we did that, we wouldn't have one of our favorite segments.
Who's Murgy? It's a Bizarro Zeba.
Who's Murgy? She said, and smiled in that special way. So Mr. Magazine, interesting other things. He had a $13.39 item. He took an $11 offer on it. On a 24 by 36 poster of Tiggy.
Yeah.
Must be Twiggy's little known sister.
That's why it took 5 years to sell for $11.
And it's crazy because it was a Twiggy poster, so it's probably a $50 poster, something like that. And it just was not listed right for you. It made me laugh.
So sad.
Oh, and I owe Mr. Magazine an apology. And
wow.
Years ago, Mr. Magazine had told me how handsome he was, and I beg to differ.
I didn't say I was handsome. I said people tell me I'm handsome, and then he thought it was my aunt.
However, I have been proven wrong. Mr. Magazine got an email from a award-winning voice actor who wanted to purchase an item off Mr. Magazine and wrote back, "Thanks, handsome, smiley face XO." So an award-winning voice actor thinks Mr. Magazine is handsome.
True story. Yeah,
it is a true story.
Yeah,
it is a true story. I saw it myself. So
good times, good times.
And I
reminded me to tell my wife about that because we just she made a comment about some pictures that were taken the other day for my son's school that were in the front page for, and I did not look handsome there.
I got an offer today to sign up to gain access to Labs in Google Workspace, which is some new thing going on in Google. I clicked, oh, well, why not sign up for it? Now I'm on the waiting list. I said, well, why are you having me sign up to be on waiting lists?
Cool.
And I learned a new word this week, Mr. Magazine. I'll let you pronounce it because my French isn't good.
Colporteur.
Colporteur, I guess. A person who sells books, newspapers, and similar literature. So from now on, if I get in trouble for being paper guy, I'll be colporteur.
I mean, I would think it would be like a voyeur that only goes out in the winter.
I thought it was somebody that didn't know how to spell Cole Porter's name.
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah.
Can you count higher than your? No, they will not allow you to do that. That they will not. Trust me, I've tried. They will not allow you to.
Totally. Travis is in the house.
Wife wants to watch some Disney content. Got ahead.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Travis. Smiley face XO to you too. Porn voice actor.
Yes, well, could be.
And I actually won something. Mel Blanc.
No, it was the actor named. Well, I'm not going to say.
Mel Blanc. Suffer and succotash, you're handsome. So I actually won. This has gone off the rails. I actually won something over at Heritage just last week. Sergeant Fury number 13. Are you familiar with that comic?
I'm not. I only have issue number 1 and 5. Sorry.
And you had 13 graded, but you gave it to somebody.
Oh.
Captain America. First meeting of Captain America and Sergeant Fury.
You didn't want it, or you already had it?
I didn't want it.
Okay.
Now I have one.
Oh, good.
CGC 3.0. So graded 3.0. One sold 2 days earlier at Heritage. Ungraded. Heritage said it was a 3.0, but it wasn't CGC graded.
Okay. For
$139.
Okay.
I got it graded for $73.
Oh my God. Crazy.
So apparently grading a comic knocks $66, almost knocks the value in half.
That's nuts.
Yep. And then if you remember last week, I had mentioned that I had picked up a Marvel Premiere 15.60 for $140 last week, which was a good deal.
Yeah.
A qualified 6.5 went for $99.
Wow.
So I think I'm feeling pretty good about my $140 purchase.
Definitely. It's the way to go, man.
Yeah. Every once in a while I get lucky on stuff like that. And a couple of other quick things over here. Mr. Magazine, and I've been leaning this way as well. Why don't you tell everybody real quick your philosophy that you're changing to on refunds?
I don't know. What is my philosophy?
And postage.
Oh, yes. Here we go. There's a delay here. I know. Well, this started with that Coleco. I don't know if we spoke about it on the live show or not, but my lister listed a Coleco Vision and said, comes as shown. And it was overseas, and it cost like almost $100 to ship, and I think it was $200 total. And the guy gets it, and he says, it's not working. It comes as shown. And usually comes and shown, like, it's kind of like what you see is what you get.
Right.
And I told my lister, I go, well, I would say test it or don't test it, but say tested or untested, powers up, moving forward. Well, he wanted to return it. And again, I've already paid the $100 for the shipping to get it there. Now I got to pay close to $100 to get it back. And I just refunded him to keep it. I'm cutting my losses, not on everything, but on things that are costing a lot to return. And I'm looking at it this way. And I forgot what the other thing might have been, like a $20 model or a $40 items. And I'm thinking, if I got to pay $10-$20 to ship it back, I didn't even pay that for the item when I bought it in bulk. Why am I paying them to return a damage, missing, something missing, whatever? So I'm starting to refund them, and they can keep it, and just cutting my losses. Because what am I going to do with this junk when it comes back? It wasn't listed properly. It was missing something. It was incomplete. And again, I'm paying more for the shipping and return than I did for when I originally bought the item. So,
yep. And I had a buyer out, and he bought 17 magazines from me. Now he only had one positive when he bought from me, and now he has two. And apparently one item in there he wasn't happy with, so he wanted to return the one item. And he paid $13 for the magazine, and it gives you the offer on the, you could give him the label to send back. It was going to cost me $12.65 to get the item back. And I said, I'm going to pay $12.65 to get a $13 item back. Right. I might as well just give him the 13 because he did buy 17 items off of me. So I'll just let him keep that one item. I don't want it back for $12.65 for a $13.
If it's something I don't believe them, if they think, oh, this is damaged, this or that, or something like that, I might call them out on it. But it is what it is. Yeah. I need to get on Heritage right now, though. I'm experimenting on Instagram. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been experimenting on Instagram as well. Got some cool stuff going on. And X Trina's in the house.
I'm always considered to be a handsome Italian stallion, but I know he's married, so I bring it up. However, so there you go. Yeah, nice.
Appreciate that.
Nice. And public service announcement: you need to get your eyes checked regularly. Just it has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about.
Yeah. Cataracts is a thing.
Heritage changes how it packs things. I bought original art from them, and what they used to do, and I think this is definitely a case where they're cutting their costs. Now, maybe they don't necessarily do it this way on higher priced items, but they used to take the original art and they would sandwich it between a couple of pieces of cardboard, and then they put it inside of an outer box and ship it.
Sure.
I just got one the other day that was literally 5 pieces of cardboard sandwiched, taped. And I'm going to tell you right now, you try to open 5 pieces of taped cardboard, trying to get that open. Now, luckily, the item I bought was way down in the center, so it didn't get damaged at all. But now it's saving them the cost of the box. And those boxes have to be, I'm sure they buy in bulk, but they still got to be $2, $3, $4 a box anyway. So they've definitely changed the way that they're shipping stuff out as well, cutting their costs.
Well, that's half the reason I'm buying graded comics on eBay. I get to use those boxes again.
Yep. No, yeah. I have not signed up for AARP. I did look into it. I did get the opportunity. I have not signed up for it.
I get those magazines too.
As is always risky. More photos.
But I think if it's an electronic, you can say, untested, or even like old trains all the time. Like I can't test a 50-year-old train. I don't have the who knows if the power supply is running and so forth, if it works. So
And Mr. Magazine had this problem a couple of weeks ago, and then Prime Time in his resellers group, somebody had the same problem. They had an empty Jim Beam bottle, and it was taken down by eBay, and eBay told them if you're selling decanters to take the top off and make sure it's empty, and then take a picture of the decanter upside down with no top on so that they know that it's empty. So they're cracking down on that.
I think someone's been reporting because we've had decanters up for a year or two selling them, a few here and there. Never had an issue, and then now we have an issue. So I think someone's just reporting everyone.
Yep. So if you want to sell decanters, that's the workaround, is to put it upside down with the top off. Yeah. Then they won't give you a hard time about it. There you go.
Good episode.
Voice actors. There you go. Yeah, Mr. May. Oh well.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm just happy about my head wherever it is. Yeah. No cancer. I'm happy about that.
All right, everyone, just cool off now.
And if anybody out there, this is actually an idea I had. I ran this by Mr. Magazine, and he agreed it was a good idea. And then I ran it by a random neighborhood kid, and he agreed it was a good idea, which tells me it's a terrible idea. If anybody has the ears of anybody over at Topps, Panini, any of the card manufacturers.
I thought you were talking Mickey Mouse ears, but go ahead.
I had an idea. And the reason I had this idea is there is a YouTuber out there called Jeff Wilson, who is a influencer and hypes up sports cards. And he is actually, him and like 4 other influencers actually have chase cards in one of the top sets. And it got me thinking, why doesn't Panini or any of those do an influencer set and make it like the old days, like the 660 card set, 101 cards, chase cards, all that kind of stuff. But the reason why I think it would be a tremendous success would be because we'd be in it, because it was our idea.
Obviously, handsome people have to be in it.
But the other reason why would be because obviously you get the big boys, you get the Mr. Beast, you get the subscribe to PewDiePie, you get all of the big boys.
Auction Professor.
Yep. You've got to pay the big boys because obviously Mr. Beast is going to want.
Something.
But you get down into the 12th biggest cooking show, they may just be happy for the exposure. So you give them the contract $120 and there you go. And, you link to their channel on the card, you do all this kind of stuff. And just for the exposure. But imagine you've got 10 cards of cooking show people, 10 cards of people that race cars, 10 cards of prank video people, 10 cards of all these different people. You don't think like your son would say, oh my gosh, these guys I know are in it.
For sure.
And they'd be in the store wanting to buy it, the gamer ones,
yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And every influencer would talk about it on their channel, whatever channel they happen to have. They'd all be like, hey, check out this new set. It's at Walmart. I think it's definitely a winning idea. If they put it out there, we'd like to be in it just because it was our idea.
Sure.
And so if anybody knows anybody at Panini, reach out to them and hello@papergoy.com. We'll sign the contract to be in there. Put your Band-Aid back on. You look dangerous. I could be the tough one. There you go.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Tough one. Nice. But yeah, so if anybody knows anybody with the card things, I think that an influencer set would definitely sell. And again, you could get so many different people buying cards.
Mr. Beast has so much money, he can have it. He can print them up himself, honestly.
Well, can you imagine though? What would a Mr. Beast 101 be worth? It'd be worth crazy money. It really would.
More than Jackie Slater or whoever that Slater was.
Kelly Slater.
Kelly Slater.
But yeah, so just an idea out there. If anybody knows anybody at Panini, maybe you'll see our handsome mugs at some point in the future. $1 million.
There we go.
All righty. Now we're going to head on into today's main topic with the great reveal. Mr. Magazine loves this because he has no idea what we're talking about.
I'm going to cool off for a second.
But enough about the rest of the show. The main topic today I wrote down was rinse, repeat.
Okay.
Exactly. And the reason why I brought this up, and then I will let Mr. Magazine talk, is there was a channel, speaking of Jeff Wilson, there was a channel out there that I've begun to watch called Sports Card Radio. And they've got beef with this Jeff Wilson character. And Jeff has been putting videos out telling people to buy cards. And
like not $2 cards, like $20,000 to $2 million cards.
Yeah, like high grade Luka Doncic, 101 cards, all that kind of stuff. And another channel went and showed that apparently, and again, I'm just repeating what I've heard off these different channels, that this Jeff Wilson is supposed to be down $1 million in his investments. And what Sports Card Radio said is the way that they make money is they're buying something at $10 and they're selling it at $30. They're buying another card for $5 and selling it for $18. And that's what I mean by rinse, repeat. That these are things that you can do regularly.
Right.
And it's almost impossible as long as it's almost impossible to lose money. Let's put it that way with the rinse, repeat type way of going. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. And it's, our line of work, we're chipping away at $10, $15, $20 items on a daily basis. We can do it forever. We buy this stuff on a regular basis. It's accessible. Whereas if I wanted to listen to his, investment into sports cards, 5, 10, 20, 50, I don't even see those cards. Like in Rochester, I don't know anyone that has that stuff. Like they don't come in, maybe they sell
you'd
them
have
online.
To go to a major show.
Yeah, they're not planning. I mean, they're out there on eBay and places, and you're not going to buy a $10,000 card for $5,000. You may think it's worth $10,000 now if it's on the low, but still, do you want to invest in a volatile card like that? I mean, to me, it's crazy, but I'm happy chipping away, $15 Funkos and magazines and toys and so forth, because we're selling 300 items at the end of the day at $20. That's $6,000 of gross in that day. That's what pays the bills. It's steady, it's easy, and I'm happy doing it that way.
And what was getting me thinking as well is any moderate sized flea market, I can go into and I can buy 25 to 50 items at an average price of $1 a piece. Right. I mean, I may pay $2 for a couple and get 50 cents each for them, but an average of $1 a piece, and they're $25 items.
Right.
And every flea market, week after week after week, I can end up doing that.
Yeah.
Where I go and I spend $50 and I picked up $1,000 worth of stuff. week after week after week.
And you'll get a home run every now and then. You'll get $100 item, and that's what the exciting part of it. So you get the $10, $20 stuff that is there, and then you'll get that special. Hey, this was a rare Funko or a toy or a book worth $100 or so. It makes it worthwhile.
And obviously, you're not going to buy every time you go out somewhere. And this doesn't work at things like thrift stores, things like that. Doesn't necessarily work with what we sell. But yeah, you go to flea markets, you go to estate sales, you go to shows and the like. And, you just keep buying stuff and you end up with obviously more stuff than you can list as your name gets out there more as well. But even like when I went to the museum this last week, I paid $60 for 6 boxes of books. Now, little insider secret, I knew they were charging me $6 or $10 a box.
Yeah.
What size books was I taking unless I knew it was an absolute home run?
I would say thinner books.
I'm going to guess I probably picked up 300 items, maybe 400 items for $60.
Well, can't argue with that.
Yeah. So you're talking nothing really, but you're talking 15 cents an item into them. And every item I picked up, I know is going to end up selling. Now some of them aren't going to sell for all that much. Some are going to be, $5 to $10 items. Yeah. But still, I paid 15 cents an item. Nothing's going to fly off the shelf, but I can keep filling the shelf up with the stuff.
Exactly.
It all is, most of the stuff is stuff that ties into stuff I already have listed. And we've talked about this a million times on the channel as well.
Yeah.
That if you've got 50 of one type of item listed and you list a new one, it drives traffic to the old ones as well. So if I've got 50 art catalogs listed already, I list a couple of new art catalogs, it drives traffic to the old ones.
Yeah.
So the rinse repeat is what I'm going to call the method, and you really cannot lose on it. Can you make enough to live? Well, you got to get to a certain size, obviously, to be able to do that.
Right.
You can't do it with just 5 items. You're not making enough money off any given item to do that.
Right.
But if it's a side income or you've been doing it a long time and you got a big enough store, you really long term, you really can't lose doing the rinse repeat method.
Yeah.
Let's see what other people are saying about that.
Well, they're talking more about me and you, but where's the $1 million Playboy basement video?
Yeah, one of these days.
New stream of income for us. Our heads are going to explode. Oh, they're on their way there. Nova, I love me some bread and butter items. Sure.
Yep, bread and butter, rinse repeat. Yep.
There you go.
You're crazy out there. Doing influencer trading cards called True Creator. They have put out 2-3 sets of major trading cards. Okay.
Cool.
I didn't even know that was out there. That's interesting. But yeah, definitely a major one would definitely sell out there. Salt and pepper to my shopping list.
Good stuff. No one cares about rinsing. They care.
Yeah, as I know about rinse repeat. Here, I thought we had a great topic. Ain't broke, rinse repeat. Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, no, and that's absolutely true, though. Like I said, Jeff's been in the business a long, long time, and I think one of the keys to the rinse repeat. Obviously, you have to have a long time frame. You have to, as you go along, too, you learn more. Yeah, and you make better purchases, smarter purchases. I've got stuff in the garage from 2008 that I bought. And I'm sure some of it is stuff that when I eventually dig it out, I'm going to go, why did I buy this? And there's going to be some absolute treasures in there that I had no idea back in 2008 were good. I just either never got around to listing them or they were above my knowledge at that time. And I said, I'll list these sometime, not knowing it'd be 2027.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But
yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. So I had a new lister at Christmas and we gave him a ton of records, sold a ton of records. He wasn't the best lister and he moved on, but, I got a new lister now, seems to be really good. We're teaching him Amazon and eBay, and I want to give him vinyl. So we have vinyls all over the warehouse. I said, let's put them all in the batting cage for now. I want to go through them all because they take up a lot of room. Pull out the ones that are listable online, pull out ones that maybe I can sell in bulk on Facebook or something, and then even throw some out. So that's going to be my spring-summer project and go through that. And they do sell. If you got the right records, they do sell on it. Maybe $5 to $15 is going to be the average, but hey, what's wrong with that? They're just sitting around. I probably got 50,000 33s, and I think I got a couple 100,000 45s.
And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean any disrespect to Mr. Magazine for once. You're not a good lister of it, but you have admitted that as well. And by you, I mean your store.
Right.
you do, I expect, leave money on the table at times because first pressings, all that.
Exactly.
Mr. Magazine, just the way he's set up, is more likely to make a big purchase, and it's Fleetwood Mac Rumors. That's a $12 record. It'll sell in 3 days. Put it up. Has he ever had a first pressing? Doesn't know, doesn't want to know, because it's not really worth your time.
Exactly. Right.
Because the odds you
to
get
pull out every record and look at the dead wax and all that, and
have to do the research on it and all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, the butcher cover and what was it, the banana
promos, selling promos and so forth, stuff like that. But yeah, definitely.
Is it the zipper or the banana on the cover and all that?
Both,
a couple of those. Yep. So he knows the common rarer albums, but on the other stuff, there's a lot of money that can be made in that too if you get really deep into it. But it's like anything else. It's like with books. I go a little deeper into checking first prints and first editions and first this, first that.
Yeah.
A lot of other people don't do it. They just look at it and they're like, oh, it's this book. I know this book sells for this amount.
Right.
Type deal. Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways to make money. And that's where almost you're doing the rinse repeat, because you would buy a Fleetwood Mac Rumors or a Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
That's another regular seller.
Grease. I mean, they sell all the time.
Grease, Michael Jackson, bad, right?
Yeah, any Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Yeah. Where you would pay $1 each and sell them for $10 and sell them in 3 days and be happy doing that day after day after day after day.
Yeah, and I mean, they've gone up in value online because we haven't sold them in a year or two. They've just been in storage. When we put them out for Christmas, some records that used to be $5 or $30, $40 now. It's crazy because all the cheap ones sold out through COVID and so forth. So now they're at another level on Amazon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can make a lot of money. I ended up flipping some stuff to Mr. Magazine. I made very little money on it, but he still owes me a little bit on it, which he probably doesn't remember. He said, "Oh yeah, I'll throw you something on it."
What is this for now?
When I bought all those records that were in my living room forever, I picked up a guy's doubles, duplicates off of it, and I had great idea. I was going to list it the right way, and I ended up flipping to Mr. Magazine, who I'm sure made your money off of it.
I think we sold them at Christmas time. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of popular titles. Yeah.
Yep. It was a really nice collection, but again, I was going to do it the right way, and then I said, I just don't have time.
Yeah.
I can't take that on at this point.
Right.
Supplies are the tough thing about it. And that's the one thing I ended up buying all these supplies, and I'm flipping those to Mr. Magazine as well, because I said, I think I picked up 600 records, so I bought 300 record boxes and all this stuff. And then I said, what am I going to do with all these if I'm selling all the records to Mr. Magazine? So I gave him those at cost as well. I think we're ready to head on into the rambling story of the week. So let me ask you this, Mr. Magazine. Right. I looked out the window this afternoon.
Yep.
Tried to act like I wasn't home, but you kept knocking. And you drove up, and it wasn't your usual car.
No, it was a gold Chevy Malibu with Virginia license plates.
Oh, so I know that a couple of weeks ago we did the rambling story about your son learning how to drive, and didn't quite work out as well as he anticipated. But when are you getting your car back? Tomorrow?
So this is a rambling story part 2. My kid crashed my Escalade. So basically, we went to, I think last time we talked about it, I went to Myrtle Beach. I got a truck rental. And then I came back and I turned the rental in because I was paying more for it because it was a bigger vehicle and I had the insurance and all that stuff. And I think I was using my wife's aunt's car for the time being for the week. So I didn't want to waste rental money. I've only allotted so much with the insurance. So then when that week was winding down, I think, I started calling in advance to the rental place, Enterprise. And they wouldn't rent me a car yet because my insurance company didn't give them clearance for it. Like they got to say, hey, he's covered for this much.
Now, did you ask them what's the clearance?
I did not. So, so it took me a week to get through with all this going on. And, to make a long story short, 2 weeks went by. The collision place never towed my vehicle. And it took 2 weeks to get me a quote.
So it was still sitting where you had it originally towed.
Right, so 2 weeks was wasted between the quote and the collision place towing it. So they finally got that done. And then the insurance company claims that they told the Enterprise that I was covered. Well, this was a Friday, 2 Fridays ago. And I said, great. So I call Enterprise. No, you're not in the system. They must have revoked whatever coverage you have. So unfortunately, it was Friday at 4:00. So I called my agent. They closed at 4:00 on a Friday. So now I need the vehicle. I have no vehicle. I think Monday, it was a Monday morning. I wanted to get the rental. No vehicle. They had my name backwards. Yeah.
Oh, like
Magazine Mister.
Exactly. All right. I was going to go,
Yeah. I said enough is enough. So I called my agent Monday. I go, listen, if you don't get this done by noon, I need a vehicle. I don't want to drive around the Mercedes I got to transport merchandise stuff, So I said, I like you guys as agents, but I got to get rid of this insurance company. You can't fix this soon. It's been a total nightmare, and they end up fixing it. I got a rental, but again, it's not a big enough rental, but it gets the job done. And I guess I'm going to have it for 2 more weeks minimum because the truck, the parts came in 2 weeks ago, but I don't think they even started repairing the truck yet. So it's been it's been over a month right now. So it'll probably be 2 months if I'm lucky, another month. So who knows?
So my over under was July 4th. Are you still going with the under? Or are you starting to lean?
I have to go with the under. I need it. Yeah.
Are you
if not, I'll buy another vehicle. Someone might be cheaper.
Well, I certainly think at this point Memorial Day will be pushing it.
Yeah.
So
it could be. I don't know. I hope not.
Wow.
And I love because I go to work every morning. I bring my kid to school, the kid that crashed the truck. And I have my car loaded with tubs of Funkos and the trunk's cut. And he's got his baseball gear. He's got his workout gear. He's got 3 bags on him. He's holding the baseball gear. He's got a backpack and then one in his front. And it's crammed into the car. And he's like embarrassed, but he knows it's his fault. So he doesn't say anything. He just deals with it, So, good stuff.
Well, I'm sure next week you'll give us an update and you'll be, in fact, you might even drive the car through the wall right through.
I really want to write a book on the crap that goes on, the stupid crap that goes on in my life.
Check your vector, Victor.
You ever been in a Turkish prison? Hey, nerds. Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome, New to You Provisions. I might be seeing you in a couple of 3 weeks, 4 weeks up in Springfield.
Oh, nice.
There you go. All right, everybody. It was a really fun show tonight. It actually was.
Yeah, it'd be great. I have used it. It'll fit 4 bankers in the trunk, and 2 on the seat and 1 on the floor. So actually, I can bring 7 bankers to the warehouse in the Mercedes. Not too bad, actually.
Nice. All right, everybody.
Hold on, one more. Jeez.
Oh, no problem.
Lee, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Stop on by Allentown Paper Show. Papergoy will be wandering the aisles looking for great deals, and you'll hear these dulcet tones. So come on up and say hi.
Before I forget, Ramley Story next week, you should do it for our friend that has the handsome face when we were at the airport.
All right. I shall do so.
All right.
Stop on by Whatnot tomorrow. If you like books, you'll like the deals that I'm giving. Next Tuesday, we have another Whatnot auction for Ephemera. And next Thursday, we also have another book auction. Everything $3 starts, 30-second auctions, everything catalog.
And another idea. How about card sets with Whatnot sellers?
There you go. I could sell them on Whatnot.
Yeah.
So stop on by for that as well. And I think that's all I got tonight.
All right, me as well.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next show.
Take care. Bye-bye.